All right. Mr. Red Hot Mike. We're back. We're ready to do this one more time. One more time, Mr. Red Hot Mike with yours truly, G. Alpha Palmer. Let's turn the music down just a little bit. Welcome to the Red Hot Mike. Cheers to you. Welcome to another edition of the Red Hot Mike, and it is another time for us to ruminate, elevate, and to activate. I want to thank you so very much for being with me, because there's a lot going on, and I am really glad to be with you. Not so much excited as I am just glad to be with you. And you know what? I've got an idea. It's good to have an idea. Whenever an idea comes, there's a light bulb experience. And that's what we're going to talk about today, this afternoon, or whenever you're looking at this particular broadcast. So I want to thank you for once again being with me, and I'm excited about it. It's the Red Hot Mike. Please, if you would, do me a favor. Would you do this? Would you like, subscribe, hit the comments? If you have any comments, put your comments in the comment box. And if you would, hit the notification bell so that when we have new content, that you can get that as well. We've got a lot going on right now in my personal life, but when you're called to do something, you're called to do something. And it's not a matter of your feelings, it's a matter of your mission. And here, the Red Hot Mike, yours truly, G. Alpha Palmer, is on a mission. So, I want to thank you once again for being with me. And like we always do, our toast is our toast to you and to your wholeness. I'm so glad that you're with me. I am so glad that you're with me. So, let's get ready. Let's do what we do, and let's get with it. All right? First of all, I need to put underneath the screen all our information so that you can get in contact with us anytime you feel like it. We have all the information below. You might want to copy it, and I hope you will. Let's get rid of some of the lights. But I like lights, right? I really do like lights. And It helps to make things a little bit brighter. Nothing wrong with having things a little bit brighter. So we got things going on here, and we're going to make sure that things go down the right way. So we're going to get started. You know how we do on the Red Hot Mic. You know, you got to welcome you inside because the Red Hot Mic adds warmth, comfort, because out there are lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So we welcome you in one more time to come in to the Red Hot Mic. Sit down, get comfortable as we get ready to go on another adventure. Now, this particular broadcast is kind of personal, which is why I'm doing it. My mother just transitioned, and I'm going through some things. And in going through these things, we get rid of some of these lights, like I said. Let's try to get rid of them. There you go. Oh, came back on. There you go. No? There you go. All right, so now I wanted to share with you where I'm at, because right now I'm going through some tough times, and I believe that we all go through them. And to be able to share them with you is very, very important. So let's get ready. Let's get ready, because the bell is ringing. It's time for us to get ready for what's coming next. So here we go. All right. You know what we do, how we start. The way we always start. Let's see what we got here. Let's try this. As you know, we always start the program as a homage to Mr. Kevin Samuels. And we recognize, some people don't, but we recognize here at the Red Hot Mic that Kevin Samuels added to our lives. And in adding to our lives, it's important for us to understand that what he provided was something that has catapulted and ignited so many other gentlemen across the land and around the world to begin to stand up and take account. But I want to do it in a different way. I mean, some people may not believe it, but I want to do it in a way that's G. Alfred Palmer and not Kevin Samuels. Some folks say, "Well, you're trying to try to take off from Kevin Samuels." Well, if that's what you believe, I know that that's not true because of what I'm doing and the way that I do it and the reason that I do it. I'm not Kevin Samuels, but I do recognize a person that has really, really added to the lives of people. And I, even though he's not here anymore, I want to recognize him. And so what we do is we start with our candle of the evening. And it's a new candle. I get sent these candles, and I try to just light a few. And this one is a new candle that I've never had before. It's called Upland Scented Candles. And we're going to give it a shot. It's called Amber Sakai. Amber Sakai. I'm not sure what's in it. We're going to give it a shot and see what kind of fragrance, what kind of smell it gives the studio. And so we're going to do that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is our scent of the evening is an old one, an oldie but a goodie that I want to share with you one more time. And it's called Prada Luna Rosa or Rosa. And it's Luna Rosa is a sly, cool cologne featuring the cleansing cold fire of sage and cinnamon, and with a light peppery spice. It's fresh lavender and crisp orange citrus and a tangy musk highlight the aromatic feeling. So it's something different. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I've done this one before. I like it. I really like this scent. And the reason that I like this scent is I really do. Let's see, the musk is there. The tangy musk highlights are definitely there for the aromatic feel. I do also a hint of orange citrus, and the lavender is in there. I don't smell the pepper. Yeah, there it is. There it is. A little peppery smell and a little cinnamon. I shouldn't say cinnamon, but I should say spearmint. So spearmint is in there as well. So I'm excited about this scent. I think it's a real good scent for the summer. I really do think it's a good scent for the summer. You might want to check it out. Prada Luna Rosa. Prada Luna Rosa. Okay. Thank you so much for. We do that again for a compliment to Mr. Kevin Samuels because of what he has meant to me and other men and women out there as well. So we want to just pay homage to him, and in appreciation for what he's done, we do this on our broadcast. So that's it for that, right? All right. So we always go from the sin of the evening and the candle of the evening to what we always call the answer wheel. Let me get it up because I didn't even add it in the broadcast this time. So let's see if we can bring it up real quick. And let's bring it there. And then let's add it to the string. Boom. All right. And so you see a couple other things here. You see my hand right there. But what we do with the answer wheel is it gives us a time to step aside and to allow what we believe here at the Red Hot Mic is to allow spirit to begin to just speak to you and to really speak into your life about something that you're going through. Everybody's going through something. And some of the things that we're going through, I'm going through something right now. And we're going to share a little bit from that tonight. But not only are we all going through some things, but for some of us, some of the things that we're going through, you know, we've been toiling with something. We've been having problems coming to the conclusion of something. So what we want to do here at the Red Hot Mic is we want to give you that opportunity to begin to get some answers, not from me, but from the universe. From the universe. And, you know, it's not anything spooky or religious. It's a spiritual moment that we have to allow you to connect with spirit in a very fundamental way. You see the Red Hot Mic, and I should say the answer wheel. And the answer wheel, what the answer wheel does is provide you with an answer to a query or a question that you may be having, that you're having trouble getting the answer to. So what we do is we give the answer wheel a spin and allow the answer wheel to answer for us. Now some people say, well, that's not very spiritual. Okay. If you don't see it as such, that's fine. But for some people, you need to understand this. The Creator uses all modes and means of operations to communicate with us. You know that. And a lot of times, the very thing that we think that the Creator won't use is the very thing the Creator will use. So, this gives you an opportunity to begin to just get a feel for what's going on in your life and hopefully answer that query, that question that keeps you profound, or confound is the word I'm looking for. You confound that how and what to do. And so what we do with the answer wheel is it had 6 answers on it. It says, try again. It says, no way. Definitely. It also says, maybe, yes, and ask a friend. So the Red Hot Mic is very, very in touch and in tune with things that are spiritual, not religious, different things. That's why we were able to invoke and use different things to help us move forward. Tonight we're gonna come from a psychological perspective in talking about the stages of grief and loss. The stages of grief and loss. But before we get into that, the answer wheel is here. We're gonna give the answer wheel a little. Well, it's not okay. Let's do it this way. That's a little better. We'll give it a little turn and we give it a chance to stop. That was a little bigger turn than I normally use. Oh, it's running into my cup. Okay, that's better. I guess that was the creator's way, the universe's way of slowing it down. And so we all have situations. We go through stuff. I'm going through stuff right now. I lost my mother. I did not lose my mother. My mother transitioned, and I know where she's at. And so I didn't lose her. You don't lose your loved ones. They transition. And we'll talk about that. But the answer wheel to your particular query today is saying, try again. So we're going to give it a shot one more time. It says, try again. So let's do that. We'll give the answer wheel one more spin. Hopefully we won't get another try again. But yes, my mother has transitioned. And I want to thank everyone that has, through my social media platforms, phone calls, visitations, have been great support. And it says a lot. When people take the time to speak into your life relative to, and to acknowledge and pray and to encourage you, it's important that we understand that says a lot about the people, that they are really concerned about you. And that's always a good thing. So the answer wheel tonight says definitely. Definitely. Definitely is one of my favorite answers. Why is definitely a favorite answer of mine? It's because it says that you're on the right track. What you've been going through, or that situation that you're faced with, I don't know what it is. I have no idea, and I'm not going to try to pretend. But I will say this: I believe the universe is saying definitely. I'm not going to try to read into that. Definitely is a word that's more pronounced than the word yes. I believe so. I believe the word definitely says that you're on target. That very thing that that answer that you've been toiling with is definitely that one. I know sometimes you feel like you're not sure. You're not totally confident in your answer. But tonight, today, this afternoon, right now, at this moment, the universe is saying definitely to you. Definitely. Whatever it is. So step out boldly, confidently, not from me, because I didn't give you the answer. I just allowed the universe to allow the answer to come. And if you can believe it, then you can receive it. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. But if you can boldly and confidently accept, definitely, then today, tonight, this afternoon, wherever you're doing it, whenever you're looking at this program, this broadcast, definitely. So step out and do what you need to do. How about that? And so that's our part that we call the answer wheel. And that's for you to begin to get what you need from the Red Hot Mic. All right. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you being able to just be with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Now, I want to talk about the 9 steps of grief. And I'm talking about it for myself and to anyone else that's out there that may be experiencing similar grief stages. You're going through something, right? You're going through something. A relationship may have ended, right? You may have lost a job that you really enjoyed, right? It's possible. A loved one may have transitioned. Grief is a very real issue in our lives. So I want to share with you 9 steps. 9 steps of grief. Now, why is that important? Well, we need to understand where we are and how to matriculate and to begin to move from that place to another to allow us to come out of grief. Because what grief basically is an extension of depression. Okay? We're not here to give clinical information tonight. What I do want to do is to just give you some steps, some stages of grief. Okay. And as you begin to experience these steps, to be able to identify them. Okay. And then what are some of the things that you may want to try to move forward? Okay. The first thing is, when we talk about the stages of grief, is denial or shock. I can't believe this just happened. Now, in my case, I expected it because my mother was 93 years old. So her transitioning was something that we had been preparing for quite some time. But for some of us, it's a shock. That relationship ending, it was a shock. You weren't expecting it to end. You were expecting it to go to another level. You put so much into it, and you thought that it was going to go to another level, and it didn't. It didn't. And so because of that, you just can't believe that it happened. You're shocked. You're disappointed, right? And so with that shock and that disappointment, or even that denying that it's really happening, because that's what we do sometimes. When things are happening, we try to deny them. And the reason that we do that is we want another result. Now, one of the things I say to my clients relative to denial is that denial is the first stage, and it is a normal stage. There's nothing wrong with you being hurt, depressed, disappointed. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with feeling that way. You're not strange. And so denial, shock, is a normal human reaction. So the thing that we do with denial is to be still. Just be still. I know it's hard, but when it's time to move from this place, what you have to do is be ready to move. See, because sometimes in the denial stage, there's some things that you have to come to grips with. And those things vary from person to person, situation to situation. But we've got to get to the place where we have to deal with specific thoughts, ideas, while we're in that phase, in that stage. So as you're in the stage of denial, okay, and you don't want to believe that it's happening, what you need to do is just stay right there. You owe that to yourself. Yes, you can be disappointed. Yes, you can be hurt. All those things, whatever you're feeling, it's okay to feel that. Okay? And when people tell you you need to get over it and all, no. You're right where you need to be. But know that you're in a process. And in that process, there's different strokes for different folks. And we handle it in different ways. But it all comes out as shock, disappointment, and denial. But it's okay. It's okay. Because this too shall pass. Okay, so then the second stage is disorder. Now, when in disorder, it's everything seems to go in disarray. You can't seem to get everything lined up. Know that you're there. Know that you're there. There's some confusion. There's some unsurety. You're perplexed, right? There's disorder, right? And so with disorder comes not the unsurety of what to do. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. Where I'm at right now is a place of disorder. Now, I'm going to share with you personally that I've experienced this, not knowing what to feel, not knowing where to go or what to do. It's okay to be there. So when you're in that place, what do? Is just stay where you are. Understand where you are, that you're in a place of disorder and unsurety. You don't know what to do next. It's okay. It's okay. Because the disorder will eventually give way to something else. Because it's always going to change. See, you're where you are for right now, but you will never stay there. It may get worse, but invariably it will get better. Eventually, but not right away. Because the next step is anger. Is anger. Now, here's where a lot of people begin to do things or say things that they may have to eventually apologize for or to recant. So in the anger stage, I would recommend going into counseling, talking to someone about the anger. Why are you angry? I've done so much for this person. I was there for this person every time they needed it. I was a support system for this person. I gave all that I had to give. I'm going to miss this person, and they left. I need them in my life, and they left. However that transpired. Whether that is they transitioned out of your life, out of your location, whatever, however they transition, what we've got to understand is this. Anger is okay. It's okay to be angry. Now, what's not okay is that you act out of anger. And just like in the prior steps, it's okay to be there in anger, but it's time for you to answer some questions. Okay? The things you did for this person, did you do them expecting some type of return? Is that why you did it? Or did you do it out of the kindness of your heart? Because if you did it out of the kindness of your heart, you weren't expecting any return. But if you were expecting something in return, that is not doing something out of kindness. It is manipulation. It's manipulation. So is your anger based on the fact that this person didn't give back what you thought that they should have given back? Because understand this, whatever you gave, whatever you surrendered, whatever it was, it's coming back to you tenfold, hundredfold. So if you gave it in the right way, it will prosper you. As long as you understand that. So you can have your bout with anger. You can have your bout with anger. It's okay to be angry. But know this, that anger that you have, as long as you have it, it will keep you from moving forward. It will keep you stuck right there. And every time you hear that person's name, the anger will come up. See, anger is tied to resentment and resentment to anger. A resentment is basically anger that you feel the first time a disappointment occurs, or you suffer this stage of grief. And so you have this anger or resentment, and the resentment means to resent or to re-feel it like it's happening all over again. And as long as you do that, you're stuck. You're stuck when you continually re-feel the anger, re-feel the anger. See, here's the thing. We've got to learn how to control our feelings. Feelings are signs of demarcation. They're indicators to show us where we are. We're not to allow those emotions. We're not supposed to allow them to run ripshod over us. We're not supposed to allow our emotions to dictate our behavior. And that's what we do in many cases. And so anger for the loss, anger because of what you invested in that relationship. And so there's some anger there. There's some anger that person transitioned or died in your eyes prematurely. Maybe there was some type of plans for the future. And now those plans have been done away with because of someone transitioning out of your life, and however that looked, however that occurred. So yes, feel angry, but don't act on the anger. Talk with someone about the anger and why you're angry. If you want to talk to me, feel free. We have our information scrolling underneath the screen. Feel free. Email me. The email address is below. It's scrolling underneath as well. Email me, and we can talk about the anger. Why are you angry? What is the positive and the negatives of the anger? What is the anger doing to you? See, because what anger can do to us is cause all kinds of physical and medical problems, mental problems. A lot of the relationships that come after that one that hurt us, a lot of times it's unresolved anger that goes over into the other relationship. So we have to resolve the anger. We have to resolve the anger. Because if you don't, you'll take it out on the next person or someone that had nothing to do with it. Right? All right. Let's go to the next one. Guilt and bargaining. Guilt and bargaining. Very real, depending on the situation. Guilt and bargaining. Guilty. We feel guilty for something that we didn't or we did do. We feel guilty. And I'm a firm believer. I've seen this happen quite often in when a person transitions. What happens with a lot of people is if you have resolved things without feeling guilty about them, when that person transitions, there's a calmness about you. But those people that act up and fall out and cry and yell and run, there's a reason for that. In some cases, not always, but in some cases, it's because of their guilt. Things that they should have said that they didn't. Things that they did that they shouldn't have. Or things that they didn't do that they should have done. And it's the guilt that bothers them. They feel guilty. I'm not talking about having something to do with the person leaving or transitioning or out of our lives. And I'm not just talking about transitioning as in death. I'm talking about transitioning and leaving. Did you contribute anything Or did you not do something that you should have done? Sometimes it's things that we should have done. Sometimes we should have changed, right? Sometimes we should have not did or said some of the things that we said or did when we were angry. And now we feel guilty about the things that we said or done. And so that guilt, on top of the guilt of things that you that transpired in that relationship, cause us to feel guilty even more. And so, and along with that is the bargaining piece. We bargain because we feel like that we can make a deal with the universe. Sometimes people think that just because you pray means that it's going to change the outcome. Sometimes we want to pray for someone that's transitioning out of this life to keep them here. And so we bargain with the universe and say that if you do this, then I'll do that. Not taking into account that maybe the person that's transitioning is ready to transition. It's not about what you want. Not in those circumstances. You bargain with that certain loved one that you thought that the relationship was going to another level. And you bargain with them that you'll do things differently. You'll be better if they don't do or transition or leave your life. Some people need to leave your life. Some people need to leave your life. And when a person chooses to leave your life, understand that it's for the better. It's for the better. Because if it doesn't happen today, it'll happen tomorrow or the day after or the day after. So the bottom line is you should never bargain to keep someone in your life. Never. Never try to bargain with the universe. Never. Find out the will of the universe and then get in line with it. When you have a loved one that's preparing to transition, it gives you an opportunity to listen and to find out what the will of the universe is and to come in line with that and to accept and to embrace it. That's where your healing lies. Not bargaining. Not bargaining. Not feeling guilty. Because feeling guilty, I want to add this about feeling guilty. And I feel this is for someone. Feeling guilty about something only affects you. Because you can do nothing to change it. You can do nothing to change that. All you can do is move forward. And if that relationship has ended, do better in the next one. So that you don't have to feel guilty if that one were to end. So that's important. Guilt and bargaining, right? Yeah. The next one is distress. Sometimes we start feeling distressed or stressed out. There are changes physically, mentally. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Distress. You can't sleep, you can't eat. You can't concentrate. You can't focus. Right? Because you feel stress, distress. Listen, when a person transitions out of your life, whether in relationship or through death, I don't like the word death. I hate the word death. That's why I use the word transition. But I'm trying to ensure that you understand what I'm saying. I don't use the word death. I'm doing that for you. So when a person transitions and we feel the distress of them leaving, right? It can have an effect on us and it will affect our bodies. It can affect our bodies mentally, physically, cognitively, psychologically. It's important that we understand that transition is a part of life. And in some cases, it's good that they transition. I would dare say always good that they transition, whether out of your life or from this place. It's good. Transition is a part of life. And when you feel distressed and you can't eat, sleep, or what have you, when you can't function or focus, understand this. The situation that you're facing is for your good. You can't see it now, but it is for the betterment of your life. Because if it wasn't, the universe wouldn't allow it to happen. So you've got to understand that transition is for your good and for the good of the person that transitioned. So to be upset, okay, for a period, you miss them, but understand that they're doing what's best for them. And you've got to accept that, embrace that, and move on because there's better coming down the road. Okay? Better is coming down the road. The next thing we feel after distress is depression. What am I going to do without this person in my life? Where do I go from here? It's okay to be there too, but you can't stay there. Now, I talk to clients all the time about depression. I do a lot of work around depression. And one of the things I tell people when dealing with depression is to stay active as much as possible. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to stay active. It's hard to get out of that bed. Right? You sleep a lot. You don't eat. You don't do anything. You have to make yourself do some things. Because as you do things, chemically your body begins to recover. And as you recover, you heal. So depression is a very real thing. But you have to understand when you're depressed. I just gave you some examples. And how do you beat it? You have to get moving, get active. And as you do that, you'll find yourself turning the corner on depression. Don't stay there. Move. The next thing is loneliness. When the person leaves us, that relationship, there's a relationship void that occurs. Whether the relationship was good or bad, the bottom line is there was a relationship there. And now that relationship is gone. And so there's some sense of loneliness there in that space where that person once was. Because that place, that particular place was the place that they held. But they're gone now. I tell my clients all the time, especially dealing with death. When a person transitions, when they leave this sphere, they're gone. They are gone. I'm a firm believer they return to the source. I always tell people when someone transitions, RTS, return to source. Return to source. And they say, what does that mean? And I ask this question, where were you before you were born? I don't know, I wasn't born. Exactly. That's where you return to. You return to that place. That person that you knew is no more. Not in the physical sense. They are no more. My mother is no more. But she is alive in my heart and in my mind through the memories, through the talks that we've had, the exchanges, the traveling, and all the things that we've done together. They live there. So the memory of them keeps them alive in us. They stay alive in that regard. But the physical part is gone. So how do we deal with the loneliness? We deal with the loneliness with placing the memories of them in that place where they once were. That's good to know. Place those memories where they made you laugh. That situation that was so funny, right? That intimate situation that was just between you and that person. And what that does is that cancels the loneliness. And anytime lonely, and I was sharing this, and I was talking with someone, and I talk to people, and I'm still talking to people that have experienced some of the things. See, I'm not perfect. And so the things that I'm telling you, I do. And I've had people tell me, you're going to always miss them when it comes to those loneliness. You're going to always miss them. But the missing them will take upon a different you as you remember some of the things, experience, maybe the trips, the times that you had that were really, really memorable. Keep those. Even if it was a bad relationship breakup. Because keeping those things allow you to get through the depression, through the distress, through all the anger and all those things. It'll help you. But if you replace those memories with them leaving you, the anger, that's all you'll have. And you can't heal from that. And you'll carry it from that relationship to the next relationship, to the next relationship, or whatever. So the bottom line is to remember, even if it was a bad breakup, remember the good times, because it's going to allow you to heal. It will allow you to heal. And then it'll get to a time when you think about that person, that it won't hurt anymore, or it's not as much. You'll be able to even see that person and even be able to greet them in a more positive way. And maybe not. Maybe just being able to say that there's nothing there anymore, that I can greet them like I would greet anyone else, will be okay. But if you can remember the good times, it will help you. The next thing that people do is they withdraw. I know what I'm talking about. You withdraw. You withdraw from things, people, right? You withdraw. You retreat inside of yourself. And right now, where you retreating inside of yourself, it may or may not be a good thing to do. That's why it's good to get counseling, to talk to people, to talk through things. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And I'm talking to you right now. And it's helping me. It's helping me. That's why I can smile. Because even right now, I'm thinking of some things that have transpired between me and my mother. Not the negative things, because our parents aren't perfect. But the good things, the intimate things that will just share between you and that person. Right? So the withdrawal piece, what that does is isolates you. It isolates you. And through isolation, there cannot be healing. There cannot be healing. You have to get out. You have to get out among people. You have to get out and talk and laugh and share and gain new memories and new relationships and move on. You're going to think about them. Excuse me. You're going to think about them. But at the same token, when you start thinking negative, flip that and turn it to positive. Turn it to positive. Don't turn it to wanting them back and all. Just be thankful and grateful for the positive things that occurred. Some people say, well, ain't nothing happened that was positive. There was something, because if it wasn't, you would not have stayed with them. So there has to be some positive experiences, whatever that was. Embrace those. Right? Embrace those. And then lastly, the last step of the 9 steps of grief is acceptance. It's just that we there's an old adage that says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There's some things that you can't change. You can't. And being that you can't change them, you have to come to a place of acceptance. Acceptance says that it's not that I was, I'm okay with it, but I don't want to experience this like this again. I'll do things differently. See, acceptance is not being, ignorant or just throwing it out the window and saying next. No, you go and you enter life and you go with the wisdom and the lessons that you've learned from that last relationship. Right? And you carry yourself with respect, positive self-image, positive self-esteem. You establish boundaries, and you do what needs to be done, not in a sense of interrogating people, but at least being able to just protect yourself. Okay? Protect yourself. Well, that's it. 9 steps of grief. How to handle the transitioning of someone in your life, whether that's through relationship or through someone transitioning or dying. And relationships are all kinds of relationships. It's just not just romantic ones. There can be occupational ones, social ones, all types of relationships. There are many types of relationships. And, some relationships affect us more than others. I'm hoping that that's helpful to you. It's helpful to me. That's for sure. I'm so glad that you had this time with me. Again, if you would you subscribe to the channel? Would you do that? I really, really would appreciate you subscribing to this channel. Hit the comments. If you have some comments, please put them in the comment section. I'll get back with you. Hit the notification bell so that when we have new broadcasts that you can get them. And don't forget what's tickering underneath, contact information. Reach out to us. Love to hear from you. This is the Red Hot Mike, G. Alfred Palmer, saying to you, get to know the you that always was. Until next time, peace.